What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the red color, playing as Hades. His name is TSM Player. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Set. His name is Kimo, also known as Flux, apparently. The map is Marsh, and yes, we found two games, so we're going to cast them both. I'm always excited when good players play against other good players. It seems to be something that doesn't happen all too often. A lot of the times, the best Age of Mythology players, they kind of only play each other during tournaments. So getting a little bit of a treat here watching these guys play. Also, TSM player doesn't play a whole lot of 1v1s either. He's obviously very, very capable. So we'll see how things are going to go here. Kimo does opt into the Set here. And there's been, I wouldn't say there's been a huge amount of recent Set theory developing. I think that the idea of doing a classical fight against the Greeks has been around for a fairly long time, but it's getting a little bit more popular recently, or coming back into the meta a little bit. And we'll see if Kimo's kind of aware of it. Basically, the idea is that Set can bully a little bit of the Greek player, utilizing shifting sands to either prevent a town center from going up with a whole bunch of spearmen, or using that shifting sands to pull the Chiron into a box in your base, allowing you to get a whole bunch of value where you otherwise wouldn't be able to get. That Chiron obviously shuts down a lot of sort of classical age shenanigans that Set can do. So you can definitely go for those ideas, which then in turn has to change the way that a Hades player approaches the matchup. And then if you start doing these things against Hades, they have to start adapting themselves, which then means you can then go back into a more meta kind of Set play of the 5-second town centers as well, to kind of keep your opponent on their toes here, as we do see Kimo trying to grab this boar from TSM player's face here, but TSM player not going to be noticing that one here for the time being. Can you do a random accent impersonation for this game, comrade? No, I do not think I can do that. That's not something that I'm very much in for. I'm a very serious commentator, okay? Is Anubis ever good for classical? Yes, yes, and more yes. Anubis is a great classical age god here for Set. But the big thing that comes with going Anubis is the extra favor and trying to figure out how you're going to use that. You get this upgrade from the temple called Necropolis, which gives you an extra 30 favor. And I mean, if I'm going for an Anubis classical fight, generally I'm looking to get 2 monuments, get Acropolis out, and be really taking advantage of the animals of Set that I built for my Pharaoh. But we'll see what Kimo's going to be going for. He's trying to get his temple up here. No monuments just yet. DSM player, on the other hand, he's going for a later advance time here as well. The temple coming down. We often talk a lot about the 4:30 advance time, right? That this is normally like your stock standard advance time. The big thing, though, that I think I'm learning more is, why do you want that 4:30 advance time? What is the purpose of it? If I'm playing a god like Hades against a god like Set, maybe I can say I can just sit in my main base and advance later. If you want to go for a shifting sands play, go for it. Kill off a villager, it's fine. Gonna have more resources with advancing a little bit later. And this is something that TSM player is doing here. He wants to go later, and he's going to make it work with that. Now, the weakness of this is, or the reason why we wouldn't want to do this normally, and why the 4:30 is so good, is because it gets you that town center up faster, which means while I have less resources at 4:30 or 5 minutes when I hit the classical age going for a build order like TSM players going for now, I will have more resources at, say, 7 minutes or 8 minutes into the game, like any point afterwards, because my villagers are coming out faster, giving me more resources back. So it's an interesting argument here that TSM player is putting forward, and we'll see what Kimo is going to be going for. As a result, we do have the hands of the Pharaoh out, the priest Pharaoh moving forward, relic in the hands here, dwarven calipers reducing the priest gold and wood cost there, Titan's treasure here as well. The villagers have already abandoned this forward position here for TSM player, moving back, and it looks to me like Kimo, he hasn't scouted out at all As he's picking up another relic here, the Titan's treasure. He hasn't scouted out at all, and he is just walking in blind. And look at TSM player's base for the time being. What are you going to be attacking here? Not a whole lot. TSM player here, you can also drop that that Sentinels here if he so chooses. So you see a house coming up, and TSM player is just taking his time here. He's not even getting the town center. Does he have any sort of an inkling that these priests are coming through? I think he does. He sees them coming past the granary here for the time being. So we'll see if he can defend. As a Chiron going to come out, we just see a stable and interesting turn of events here. TSM player has been forced off of going for an instant town center. He's still got plenty of resources here in the bank. The Sentinels can still get cast down. I think he should be going for that here as the animals are going to start getting taken out as well. Hippocon starting to come through, and the village is going to have to come over onto this gold mine. This is a bit of a weird start here. Both players are going to be getting things they don't really want here. Town center coming up on the back for Kimo. I would have loved to see this forward town center getting grabbed here with all that juicy food. And oh, I love this here from TSM player. While all the pressure is going on, he goes, I see your pharaoh, I see your priest. You know where they're not? They're not on your resources. So I'm going to send my myth unit, who's not very useful against this, to get some damage done. A classic Age of Mythology technique here, as the Chiron kind of a little bit out of position there, not wanting to stay too long, as the villagers kind of come over here and grab the crown crane. We see the town center now coming up for TSM player on the back. This one isn't a good town center at all. Not close to the hippos, not close to the gold mine. Kimo on the other side here. He is going to be going for some barracks at the moment. Has his town center on the back. A little bit struggling for food because he was pushed off of that hunt over here. But he's now moved up onto this spot, so he's going to be fine. The big question is, what is Kimo going to be able to accomplish here? And I think the goal here for Kimo is going to be control the center, get these town centers for yourself with this 2-town center classical fight, and see how things are going to go. TSM player already over onto these crown cranes. He wants to get this town center himself. He's stopped the production of his Hippocon series, searching around in the center of the map for things to do. The Minotaur going to come over here, spotting some villages yet again. Town center now up, but lots and lots of wood in the bank here for TSM player, and he might even just try and sneak this town center up before things get too crazy good here. While this is going on, TSM player here, he's not been spotted. That Minotaur is getting value, targeting villagers down, and I think finally Kimo spots this one. Oh, no, he's still pushing forward. Another villager going down. Kimo, this is a weakness that I didn't think Kimo had, which is the Minotaur comes in and picks off a villager while he's getting distracted. These very, very small raids that are just so effective against players, but this is interesting. Something to keep in the back of your mind when you're playing against Kimo. Distract and raid. Very, very strong usage there. Getting some good value. As the Chiron and the Hippocon going to be retreating away for the time being. Here, TSM player has his town centers. He's now producing some units. Another stable coming up. He sees the spearman. The Chiron going to get taken out here now. And Kimo does get full control of the map as the priest. Oh, is it enough? The Minotaur is strong, man. Takes out the priest. They're going to have a handful of HP remaining here. Going to go after those villagers yet again. It goes after the low HP. 113 HP remaining here. And the Minotaur does have a little bit more speed than the villagers, so can chase that one around as the villagers turn around. Going to start taking the Minotaur down. Able to keep that villager alive. No problems where that's concerned. As TSM player now, walls are up. Archery ranges are down. Trying to produce some units out here, but Kimo, he wants to get onto the front foot here. Now, here's the big thing. On this map, this is a perfect map for set and to get an advantage here. All the gold mines are forward, and basically, shifting sands there onto this position, catches the Chiron into this position, going to allow Kimo some more advantages here. But with all the gold mines forward, Kimo can win on the third gold mine here really, really, not easily, but he has that opportunity. And if he targets that down and recognizes that, it's going to be a big advantage. But there's also the possibility here for TSM player to sneak gold mines over here. So Kimo does have to be a little bit careful where that's concerned. As the Ajax getting taken down. TSM player here needs to be a little bit more careful with his stuff. You see the Hippocon getting chased around ever so slightly here, but not paying enough attention. He does manage to keep that one alive. 5 HP remaining there. There's the Spearman sneaking in onto this position as well. More Toxotes coming out, but with the Slingers out, you don't really want to pop those Toxotes out just yet. As you can see, he's going for it, but the Slinger getting distracted here is going to prove a little bit of an advantage here for TSM player to snipe down that Slinger. But we'll see what's going to happen here for TSM player moving forward. Third town center coming down for Kimo. I mean, I like it, I don't like it. Why I like it is getting that control of the center is great. Getting those town centers, maybe 4 to 2 town center advantage here. But what I would prefer is more pressure onto this gold mine here. Don't let TSM player have that gold mine like he is right now. If you could pressure that, it would be really, really good. But instead, getting the town center, could use 4 priests here instead of the town center, or 3 priests and a handful of spearmen extra. But we'll see how things are going to go here for Kimo at the moment, as he is just sitting back, waiting, watching. Generally speaking, when I'm making a classical army, I want to be as active as possible. It's not the strongest army, but it trains really fast. So I should have more stuff out than my opponent does most of the time. And the longer I wait, the more population he's going to get to push me back. As we get to see a cheeky little raid coming through here now for TSM player onto this spot. Gonna target down those villagers here as well. He does get a whole bunch of villager kills. This is huge. These sort of raids you really don't want to have happen to you when you're playing as Egyptian. You've got all the security inside of your base. You've got your farms. You really don't need to be losing those villagers. So great raid there for TSM player. And he's going to be hitting the gold mine as well. Kimo's army is very much out of position. It's going to be a lot of villager kills here as Kimo's just now moving on to this gold mine. The army is in hot pursuit, so we'll be able to get some value here. But in a way, this is completely fine for TSM player as well, because he's going to get a whole bunch of shades from this as well. Sniping that Pharaoh was gigantic there, as Kimo does manage to start targeting down those Toxotes as TSM player retreats those back. Chiron coming into the front, going to be making a bit of a retreat away. Still going after villagers while the fighting is happening. Who wins this fight? In all honesty, Kimo loses so many villagers here. Idle time as well, and is getting raided on this spot. This is going very, very well for TSM player thus far, as Kimo is getting pushed all around the map. We do see some walls up here to try and prevent this town center from getting grabbed. But I imagine the better play here for TSM player moving forward is 2 town center heroic age, maybe even 2 town center mythic age here, to just earthquake the center and just break through any sort of chance for Kimo to just lock the map up and win a 4 to 2 town center advantage. But we'll see what's going to happen here, as the Kimo army sitting back, waiting, watching. TSM player is looking for some more raids onto Kimo's villagers. Kimo's still, it's 13 minutes into the game. I want to see where he's at villager wise, because I feel like, yeah, it's the villager differential is still basically equal at this point, even though Kimo is on 3 town centers. That just shows how many good raids TSM players had in this game, as the Hippocon can move over here. And you have to also remember there is still restoration, I believe, remaining here for TSM player, which is going to be absolutely huge, as the army returning back over onto these villages here. And Kimo, he doesn't want to fight this. Yes, he's got the double Wadges, but I mean, Chiron's so strong. How do you kill Chiron with this army that Kimo's got? The slingers don't really cut it. They barely tickle the Chiron with that 3.3 DPS. The spearmen, yeah, they can chase the Chiron around, but then the Toxotes are going to clean those spearmen up really, really quickly, while the Hippocon can clean up the slingers there. And Aphrodite hits beautifully. Kimo has to retreat away, and now the army can start targeting down these villages as well, as the Chiron going to try and chase into those Wadgets there. Kimo is now clicked up through Nephthys, but super late there as the town center coming up onto this position as well here for TSM player to get his foothold in this game. 3 town centers to 3 town centers, plus a huge amount of food income coming through. He does have this hunt in the center of the map still available for him, so he's going to be able to get all that food to go Mythic Age. I'd love to see Artemis in this game. No sense in just going for that. Well, obviously Hephaestus is the not easier, but safer pick, because you're going to be able to win that late game. But Artemis just completely cleans the army and the town center in the middle of Kimo here, as the Nemean line almost gets taken down immediately there from that Wadget. But the Chiron coming through will be able to finish this one off, as the Nemean line can come back in. Restoration being used on this position would be absolutely huge as well. Going to get a huge amount of HP back onto the Nemean line here, as well as all the units falling. Nephthys comes through. Ancestors getting dropped down, but there is still... How many heroes are here? Not really that many, so probably a better idea for TSM player to retreat, but looks like he's deciding to take the fight for the time being, as the town center is also going to be targeting down the Chiron here, finishing him off, and that means the Ancestors get full value on this fight. Meanwhile, still no Mythic Age coming in just yet. A little bit of a struggle for resources here, as the Migdol Stronghold will come up, and look at this here. Fortress on the back here, going to be able to grab the gold mine, but also all of that hunt there as well, going to go the wayside of TSM player in this fight, in this game as well, as the Nemean line still getting value here, still taking villages down. The Hippocron still piling onto this position. The Ancestors still has got a little bit of time remaining, as it's trying to take out those Toxotes on the back there. And now Kimo going to be able to get himself, I guess, he's got 0 gold in the bank. He's still got 0 gold. Where is the gold income coming from? This pressure that TSM player is exerting over Kimo in this game is just absolutely huge here. Does Kimo have a market? No market to sell that 3,000 wood in the bank. Stables coming up over here as well with the walls to prevent Kimo from having that spot there, as the Migdol Stronghold going to get torn down, because Kimo just can't produce anything in this game. And not only that, after the Migdol Stronghold falls, this gold mine's going to get pushed off. This Toxote is keeping an eye on this. This is the only gold mine which Kimo has here. And Kimo's got himself Shaft Mine, but it just doesn't matter that much when TSM players at basically full population here. He's going to be able to push over here, take these units out. He's got his farm set up. He's got a trade route started. He is in a commanding position, as another Migdol Stronghold going to be coming down over here. But this just allows TSM player to just target down the ferry yet again and start taking down those villages after everything is said and done, as they're all going to get cleaned up very, very quickly here. Chariot Archers trying to get some good damage done as well, as the siege works comes down. Another village, all the villagers get taken out. The Migdol Stronghold has been denied here. And in the 17th minute here, Kimo taps out. I mean, what a game here. TSM player reacts to that early aggression here with that stable, just playing nice and safely. I think Kimo didn't really have the game plan here in this game that he needed. I liked the early pressure, preventing the town center, the forward town center from coming up, and also delaying that back town center from coming down. But what Kimo probably should have gone for is the center town center first, potentially this town center as well afterwards if you wanted the third town center, but more importantly, pressuring this position with that armory and just forcing fights here, forcing TSM player to stay in the classical age while pressuring this spot to force more gold to be spent and more of a potential to get that gold staff starting. But because Kimo, after the pressure was done, took his foot off the pedal and grabbed the third town center, it just lets TSM player have whatever he wants in this game. And what that was the raids just get so much value. He picked off so many villagers. I wish I had like a villager killed count here, but you can just see this is a 3 town center set, just goes down to 67 villages. You just cannot stay up here, and this is 2 town center TSM players in front here in this game, so it just goes to show how much value he got from those raids. But beautiful play here from TSM player. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.